So first, thanks everyone for joining. And especially thank you to judges, mentors, folks that have helped out throughout the program. As we were talking about before, definitely couldn't do any of this without your help. So appreciate you taking the time this evening and over the last couple months to meet with these folks and help show why, Seattle and the US is great and why this is a friendly place to be. So for this evening, we're going to hear presentations from 7 companies. Like I was saying before, if you have questions, we'll have time after their presentation. So feel free, when we get to that, I'll kind of open it up if you want to, judges, if you want to go off mute and ask. Similar for mentors or attendees, if you want to ask a question, you'll be able to do that as well, but also feel free to throw stuff in the chat and then I'll be able to help moderate. So before we get into and I'll give a little bit more about the run of show as we go, but first to give a little background on us and the program. So I think I know most folks on the call, but for anyone I don't, I'm Nick. I'm with the Washington Technology Industry Association. So we are a trade association that supports the tech industry and tech companies with a focus on Washington State. But because we are the largest tech association in the country and because we like to do fun new things, we're doing a lot of regional work and national work and in programs like this, international work. So excited it was a great time working with all you folks over the last few months. And hopefully we've helped convince you a little bit more that Seattle's a great place to be. And once you expand into the US, that you come here and we can actually meet in person. So basically for just some background on what the program entailed. So over the last 2 months or so, the folks have been in workshops and sessions for about 2-3 hours a week, outside of a boot camp at the beginning where Dave gave them a 12-13 hour crash course on kind of all things entrepreneurship. So a lot of curriculum over the last few months. I see Emily nodding. So yeah, I appreciate you all hanging in there. And I know there was a lot of stuff, but I know it's been helpful. And thank you to those here who have met with the group and done workshops. I'm super appreciative of that. Separate from that, we linked them up with mentors, have been making introductions into the local community. Really, our goal with this program is to help create on-ramps for expanding into the US. And, we're biased, we like Washington State. So if we can do a job of creating on-ramps here, then even better. So we were talking before, this is the, I guess, penultimate week of the program. We'll wrap up as an internal group next week and then do some offboarding kind of through the rest of the year and probably into early next year because of the holidays. But yeah, we're nearing the end. And so the presentations you'll see today have been tinkered with throughout the last couple months. And I got to see dry runs on Monday and definitely some of the best, I think, pitches we've had in the 4 years we've been doing this program. So judges excited to see what holes you poke in them, but they're good presentations. So with that, Yumi, I'll turn it over to you first if you want to introduce yourself and the Korean Innovation Center. They've been our partner on this program for the last 4 years, and we couldn't do without them. So Yumi, over to you.
My name is Yumi. I'm a program manager at Korea Innovation Center. We are located in San Jose, Silicon Valley, and we are helping Korean startups to expand their business in US market. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your time today.
Awesome. Also want to shout out CoMotion. So Ashley, I know you're driving, but if you want to, oh, there we go. So yeah, us and CoMotion have worked together on this for the last 4 years. And when we're able to do it in person, the companies would be sitting in CoMotion. We'd actually probably be in their room right now, enjoying beer, wine, snacks, and listening to pitches. But encourage anyone in Seattle. It's obviously after 5, so feel free to crack a beverage if you want. But yeah, Ashley, do you want to say some words about CoMotion?
Absolutely. It's been great working with KIC and seeing how the program has evolved over the past 4 years. And I'm excited to continue to work with KIC, with WTIA. And yeah, hopefully next year we can be in person and it'll look like a different program. But, I think this worked out really well as well. Thank you all.
Thank you. Alrighty, so next I want to introduce our judges and then I'll get into sort of the run of show for today. So I'll just I guess call you out based on where you are on my screen. So Kathleen, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Sure. Yeah, so I am a financial advisor to startup companies, and I help founders with all things preparing around fundraising and so forth. So financial models, cap table projections, and a lot of education and coaching. And I come at this with a background in product development and having started 2 companies of my own and spent most of my career in investment banking at JP Morgan and Oppenheimer in New York. So I've kind of come at it from a lot of angles, and I have total empathy for what you guys are doing. And, you know, it's very exciting.
Magali, we'll come to you or go to you next.
All right. Well, most of you have met me. I started my career actually as a lawyer, and on the side, I was building a nonprofit. Since then, I've been involved with 3, and I spearhead innovation training efforts on behalf of the CoMotion. So that's what I do today, which means that I teach a bunch and I create training programs. And a number of the other judges are actually trainers or participants in various capacities in training programs I deploy.
And she did a cross-cultural communication workshop the last couple ones of these, which is one of my favorite workshops I've seen, because it's fun to see how us Americans are compared to the rest of the world, and it's always an interesting discussion. Amelia.
Hey guys, my name is Amelia. I am with the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center at Seattle University, leading alumni accelerator, business plan competition, a small business community consulting program. I've also taught entrepreneurship at Seattle U, and I think that I get credit for knowing Nick the longest. So happy to be here. Excited to see all these pitches.
Awesome. Ken, over to you next.
Hey y'all, I'm Ken Hornstein. I run a venture fund focused on the University of Washington ecosystem. We invest typically in pre-seed and seed stage companies that have some connection to UW or CoMotion or the ecosystem surrounding it. Before that, I also co-founded an accelerator here in Seattle. And before that, I worked for Microsoft's venture fund called M12. So angel invested and venture invested for a number of years now in Seattle.
Koki, over to you next.
Hi everyone, I'm Koki Sato, product coordinator at WTIA. Honored to be a judge today. It was really an honor working with all these Korean startups, and I'm really looking forward to listening to their pitches tonight.
Yeah, and appreciate Koki started on the team right when this program was starting, so it was definitely thrown into the fire of helping juggle a bunch of accelerator stuff right at the beginning. And last but not least, Dave, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm Dave Parker. I'm actually the board chair for startup programs for WTIA. So I'm a 5-time founder, sold 3 companies, closed 2 companies, been part of 16 transactions at this point, and wrote a book about startups called Trajectory Startup. So been fun to get to see how things are progressing. Look forward to hearing all the pitches, and thanks all the mentors and judges for all the support.
Indeed. Thank you, Dave. And yeah, that's a good segue into the next thing I want to say, which is shout out and thank you to all our mentors. I see a bunch of y'all on the call. So Christina, James, scrolling through the list, Lewis, great to see you, Ryan, Sharish. So thank you to all of y'all for taking time to meet with these companies over the last couple months. Again, we couldn't do any of these startup programs without folks like you volunteering to be mentors, and super appreciative of all the time y'all dedicated to this program. So with that, I think it's time to get into the fun stuff. So we'll get into some presentations. So Noura, D-Tonic, you're on deck. You'll be up first, but just to give a little bit of sort of what to expect. So, or reiterate. So I'll call out the name of the company. You can just share your screen, go off mute, and then start presenting. I'll time it in the background, but like I told y'all a couple days ago, not gonna like cut you off or anything. So it'll be about 5 minutes per presentation. Then we'll do some Q&A for a couple minutes before we move to the next one. Judges, I think all of you said you have the survey, but let me know if you have any issues on that. It should be ordered in the order that we're doing the presentations, but you can see at the top of the form the company, and there's a few categories just on a 1 to 10 scale, and then some just general feedback at the end. So if you can just submit that at the end of the event, we'll collect all the responses and send it over to the startups in the morning. Any other housekeeping stuff? Last thing, just for people who are here that aren't judges, whether you're a mentor or just hanging out as an attendee, feel free to post questions in the chat, and I'll do my best job to kind of help moderate stuff. So with that, Nora, you are up first. So if you want to share your screen, I'm gonna pull up the timer here, and whenever you're ready, you can get going.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Nora, and I'm from DTANIC. So I will explain a little bit how our company came to be. So we all know that the world is rapidly increasing, but when we are looking at future industries, autonomous vehicles and smart cities, these industries are producing enormous amount of data. The problem is that most data in the world can be classified as spatial-temporal big data. But what is this type of data? Space-time data basically just means multidimensional data that has both time, so time series information, and space location information. So anything you pick up your phone when you go around places and Google is tracking where you're going, or you're sending a tweet that has timestamp and GPS location, or even during pandemics, the government is trying to figure out where you have been. Companies want to process all the data they have, right? But the problem with data is that, of course, it takes time and money to process the data. But what we have discovered that when our clients are using data that contains space-time information, the big data processing time and costs are way bloated. So to combat this, we are introducing GeoHiker, a spatial-temporal boosting engine. So our typical client already has a big data system in place, but they are struggling from slow and expensive data processing. We can simply implement GeoHiker through API into the existing system with minimal data migration, so our clients can enjoy the system that they already had, but make it faster and cheaper. How can we achieve this? Well, GeoHiker has indexing capabilities where now data engineers should go and handpick whatever algorithm to use to index data so that it can be queried faster. GeoHiker can do this based on AI. So it will evaluate the type of data that is being used and choose the best algorithm to index. Plus, we have also developed an indexing algorithm ourselves. And GeoHiker can also allow efficient grouping. So if you were in a warehouse, you would like to have the most sought out after item near the exit. This is what GeoHiker can also achieve for data storages. So it can analyze the data structures of the data and group the most similar data together. So when you are querying similar information, it can be found faster. GeoHiker is not a data analytics tool, but it can be used as a base architecture for new big data systems as well. So we are very applicable for startups as well who would like to start their own big data businesses. We offer very high compatibility and scalability. GeoHiker could be applied to basically any existing big data system solution on the market. And we also allow a multiple development languages. So data engineers can be using the language that they're the most familiar with. We also offer GeoHiker as a package. So we include machine learning algorithms and spatial temporal operational functions so that everybody can get most out of the data through analysis of the data. When we have implemented GeoHiker to a client system, we have been able to see 90% cost reduction that would include hardware in terms of computers, servers, etc. We have also been able to produce 40 times faster data processing. So a governmental organization here in Korea who used to take 3 days to process 1 day's worth of data can now do it in real time and near real time. The most remarkable case that we have managed to showcase here in Korea is the COVID-19 contact tracing system. So we're the sole provider of contact tracing here in Korea. We can use people's location information from cell towers and credit card information to analyze where a confirmed COVID-19 patient has been in the past 2 weeks. This contact tracing used to take 24 hours per person, but now we can do it in less than 5 minutes. And this is one of the reasons why we have been able to keep a very open society throughout the whole pandemic here in Korea. We offer GeoHacker on a licensing model that can be used on-premise plus on cloud. And we are also currently developing a subscription model that can be found on cloud marketplaces, so we can have more scalable business, so clients can find us easier and implement GeoHacker even without contacting us directly. We have been profitable since 2018, and all the profits have been injected back into the company. But this year, we have seen a 5-fold increase in revenue. In terms of competitors, we don't consider the general big data companies as our direct competitors, because we are a solution to the problem that they cannot solve. So these traditional big data companies, when you're trying to analyze more than 1 terabyte of data, their speed decreases very significantly. This is where we come along and we can boost those data processes. There's also more specific tools than ours that are providing analytics visualization layers as well, but we are here just to boost existing big data systems. Our leadership has more than 20 years of experience in creating big data machine learning systems, not only here in Korea, but also conglomerates in Japan. And we have now currently 59 people on our team, and over 60% are data engineers. So we finished our extended seed round earlier this year, and next year we will start a Series A round of funding for $20 million solely to be gathered from overseas VCs. In terms of the US, we are looking at mostly mobility and smart city industry. So that would include things like smart environment and also asset and logistics businesses. And for the US next year, we will be setting up a C Corp, which we will use to flip the Korean company into a US company. And we will start operating fully from 23 with a goal of IPOing in 25 or 26. Thank you very much.
Awesome, nicely done. So judges, while you finish up filling out those surveys, feel free to go off mute. Any questions from the judges?
Could you talk a little bit about the go-to-market strategy? How are you going to be selling this? Seems like you've already got a lot of sales, so obviously something is in place, but how do you get it into customers' hands?
Yes, that's right. So that is one of the big problems that we have been battling ourselves as well. And that is one of the reasons why we're taking pilot programs like TRT program that can open us some doors and do soft introductions. But after we have established our office in the US, we are hiring local staff who will be on base. So that would be a totally American-based team there. And hopefully finding a partnerships in terms of not only joint venture, but very close partnerships that could help us to get into projects.
Thank you.
Other questions from the judges?
What kind of intellectual property do you have in place, and how can you make sure that your unique technology can't be replicated? This seems like a space that there's going to be a lot of interest in, and if you have no competitors and you are able to get first to market, kind of how do you maintain that?
That's a great question. So we have patents and software copyrights on the specific applications of GeoHacker, and also some indexing algorithms that we have developed. But GeoHacker itself, we haven't patented the source code, because that would mean that we would need to disclose the source code. In terms of if somebody can replicate our product, yes, somebody could, but it's the same. You could say that anybody could create a new Microsoft OS system. They could, but it's not their business model to go into usually. So for example, if we're talking to a big data company they want to boost their systems, make it faster, yes, they could also try to figure out algorithms that suit them the best, but we can provide them with the TCO reductions with less costs that it would take them to develop those systems, if that makes sense. So source code, we are not going to patent it at anytime soon.
Cool. We have time for one more question, and then we'll go to Pixel Scope next.
Nora, can you talk a little bit more about the subscription business models, like the specifics of when you're selling into these customers, what that's going to look like, how much it's going to be, et cetera?
Yes, so currently the very typical license that we would sell is based on the amount of nodes, so the system size, and it can vary anywhere from 10K to 100K currently, but then the subscription model will be more accessible for people because we will be charging $100 per month per node. And then we could also have promotional events like free trials and so on. So it would be easier for even a student, a big data engineering student, to try out GeoHiker for a specific project, for example.
And is that including the additional like compute costs? Or when you say it's $100 like per node, what is that actually getting them, I guess?
That would get them GeoHiker loaded to their system. So whatever then cloud costs or other server costs that they would occur, that would be totally separate. That is just to be able to onboard GeoHiker onto their system.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, good job, Nora. So we're at time, that's 10 minutes. So good job. It's always tough to go first, and really good presentation. So nicely
Yes,
done.
thank you for your questions.
So next we'll go to PixelScope.
My name is Taekwon. I'm a CEO and a founder of PixelScope. PixelScope is a sports technology company that automates live sport production. Pixelcast is an AI-based automated sports live production system, and it does not need a cameraman, producer, and any steps. Only one operator is needed for monitoring the system working, or no operator is needed since the Pixelcast AI software control everything for the production. The problems of the sports broadcasting production is that the traditional broadcasting system needs lots of manpower and expensive equipment that makes a high cost of production. And the quality of the output is very dependent on the steps experience. Also, there is no high-end automated live production system on the market right now. These are an opportunity. Not only the broadcasters and the sports association wants to save their money for the broadcasting, but also they wanted to eliminate the human errors to make the production perfect. Also, sports team and association wants to provide the wow contents to the fans and the viewers for getting more fans. Here are some of our value propositions. We don't need steps, as I told you, and expensive equipment, and it makes it possible to produce at low cost. And we can provide the real-time visualized game data contents to the fans, since we are gathering various data during the game to make automated production. Here is the video about some of the data contents of the PixelScope. We tracking the ball and the player in real time, and we right after rally or during the rally, we can provide this kind of contents to fans. Also, there we generate the highlights automatically too. So right after the rally, we can provide this kind of contents to the fans. Structures in Korea. Now we are focusing on the table tennis in Korea, and we covered the 5 national table tennis championship in Korea right now this year, and the KTTA and the teams and the fans love our system. Testimonials in table tennis and tennis, they love our product. And here are some testimonials. The market opportunity is huge when it comes to the sports. Shown here is an example of the earning of each league in various sports around the world. In Korea, the market opportunity is only $100 million US. We are currently focused on that, but we hope to enter the US market by 2023. We are going to enter the baseball amateur league first. Amateur league is easier to enter the market than professional, and we play in amateur league and promoting our brand and performance in advance. Then we are planning to go to the professional league later. Pixelcast is also for the professional use and the automated system, comparing as a ESPN, who is a traditional sports broadcast for professional users, but they are very labor-intensive production. Pixel is popular for the automated system, but Pixel is from Israeli company. They are automated system, but they are focused on the amateur league. Our business model is consists of three. The first is a production cost from the league or the system license from the broadcasters. The second is advertisement fee from the sponsors. And the last thing is the personalized game data service for each players, teams, and associations. Go to the market strategy by 2020. We are planning to enter US market on 2023. Before 2023, we build and expand our business in South Korea and create a strong social media presence and create brand awareness and localize the product for the US market first. And in 2023, we will establish a US office and hire the local people and find the US partners. Teams, we have a very experienced team, has a 60 years combined experience in deep learning and image processing. The rest of our engineer staffs hold the master and the doctorate degree in computer science too. As I mentioned previously, our current goal is becoming #1 in automated sports in production in Korea. Then we hope to enter the US market in 2023. So our goal is to find a business development partner and a potential US investor in next 1.5 years. Thank you.
There you go, nicely done. In exactly 5 minutes, so well done. So we'll go to the judges. Any questions? And Kay, feel free to stop sharing your screen if you want, so we can see the judges. While they finish up surveys and think of their questions, I'll throw one out to start off. How easy is it to go from one sport to another? You mentioned doing table tennis right now. So is the jump from table tennis to baseball, like is there any specific nuance to a certain sport that your technology needs to be adapted for?
Yeah, we developed the automated part for can be adapted for all sports, but we add some specific algorithm for each sports and to this automated module. So automated module is possible to adapt to all sports. So we can easily to expand to other sports if we can tracking ball and players. So basically, the ball and the player tracking algorithm is similar to each sport. So we believe that we can easily to move to baseball or other sports too.
Judges, can you tell me a little bit about how you're going to price it, so you can price it to a point that's an impressive scale? I'm not quite sure I caught that.
Pardon me, please. I couldn't understand what you mean.
I said, yeah. Could you tell me a little bit about how you're going to price the product? Because I'm really curious. It's going to be priced on a venue. Is it priced on an event? Is it, you know, how do you get the pricing up?
Yeah, we are going to install permanently our system into the stadium for the high school or the stadium which is located in local, and but also we can make our system as a portable. So when there is a game, so we can go, our operators can go, just 1 over 2 player operator, then install the system, then we can grab the production too.
So that's hardware sales. How are you going to make recurring revenue on it? What's the pricing model?
This year, we expect our sales $7 million US, also including other our product too. But we think that in Korean market is so small. So when we expand it to the US market, so we believe that the college league and the high school league is much bigger than Korean total sales. So we believe that we hope to double within 3 years when we go to the US market.
And is that, to follow up on Dave's question, so is that all from hardware sales, or is there a software component as well?
No, we don't want to sell our hardware, but our business model is that we hope to provide our algorithm or software to the broadcasters, and we hope to get a license fee from the broadcasters. Also, we don't want to sell our hardware, but we hire a operator there, and we wanted to get the production cost and advertisement fee or the data service fee too.
Cool. Other questions from the judges? We got time for probably one more.
Can I ask, oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead.
Kathleen, you're up.
Okay, sorry. So what I was going to ask about is, I forget. Well, can you tell me a little bit more about what the sales process is? Kind of how you are you going to hire salespeople? And then on the operations side, it sounded like there's a fair amount of human intervention. So what kind of gross margins are you thinking about?
Okay. For a salesperson, there is a good example from the Korean startup. So they hired the ex people of the league. So he knows about the league too. So we also wanted to hire the ex-league for the sports association member or the influencer for each league. So in US, so we will sales by him. Also, our gross revenue is we average cost for production is $2K or $7K US dollar for each game. Comparing the professional broadcasters, they got 50,000 US dollar for each game. So we are extremely lower than their cost. So so it is a software fee. So it is so 2K and 7K. If we get it, then all over it is 100 margin. I believe. But yeah, but there is some operation cost. But yeah, almost is our margin. I believe.
Thank you.
I was muted. So we're at time for that one. So Kay, nicely done. If you want to stop sharing your screen, we'll move on to the next presentation. And so next we have Amo. So Doyle, if you want to share your screen, whenever you're ready, you can get started. And we can see your screen. So yeah, whenever you're ready, you can get started.
Sure. Hello, this is Doyle Chung from Head of Global Business in Amo. I'm very honored to be in the pitch and the demo day of these organizations. I really appreciate your time and today. So I'm going to talk about what we do and who we are and what's our traction of the investment. So let's talk about this one, because it's a lot of people that it happens like a March in the Detroit and US that Tesla actually autopilot was operated, but it doesn't capture that the body of truck. So lots of people think that it's autopilot is operate wrong, but they capture in the truck body as a skylight, because AI system in the autopilot was not trained, because it's a truck body was not trained in the AI. So every objects and also everything has to be tagged and labeled to train AI. Means AI does not understand the object is not labeled and labeled wrong. Means that when we dealing with the AI industry and every data has to be converted to the training data, that it's a very accurate and precisely has to be labeled. So also Elon mentioned about 3D labeling at the earning call, as well as Facebook also mentioned about the next level of the image recognition so important. So that means there's a data labeling becoming so important for time goes by and more and more. So introducing Amo is we are the largest service provider in Korea. Top 3 industries like autonomous driving, OCR, and smart surveillance camera. So unlikely of the other startup, we do have 60% of the data scientists and engineers. Is a very tech incentive company that we working with 100 more the clients is experienced with all domains. Founded in 2016 from Google, Kakao, Naver, and the developers and the business person. We do have around 100 people is working at South Korean headquarters. We do have in Vietnamese branch, and we opened the Japanese office already in the January this year. We just opened at the UK office in the July in 2021. And US is the next market. We do hope that we're gonna be very successful based on the success of the previous track of the records. This is just a snapshot of what I just mentioned. We also do have a couple of partners in US already. We are talking with the contract, the big one for the canoe in Silicon Valley. This is just the investment status. I think that some of the companies are already acquired by Ubers, also listed on the stock market. We are at this moment, with Series A is closing right now around 12 million US dollar. So we are looking for the Series B and in some of the US and European market. Just a competitor comparison. So all the different kind of a type of the labeling technology we cover everything is from like image, video, text, audio, and LiDAR, even DICOM file in the healthcare. And the other competitors is like a partially covered, because this is so important that when you're talking to clients, it's various of the types that you cover or not, it's a crucial talks with the business winning. Two different kind of service. For the left-hand side, we are kind of 80% of the revenue has been created by the turnkey solutions. We're working with lots of automotive companies on that one, but the enterprise, which is will go to market strategy. So, and we actually launching with Microsoft for the co-selling, which is I'm going to cover next one. So this is just a process of data labeling. So when the left-hand side, that's a raw data, we actually convert to the visualized image for training data that we charge for $2 to $5 per image. That's around 200,000 files can be covered and labeled with inspection in 3 months. This is customers that we work with. I think it's all different kind of domains like mobility, media, and security image recognitions. We are the member of the Microsoft or startup partner, and also we are a member of the Inception program and NVIDIA. This is we hit the 10 million revenue this year. So half of them is revenue is a self-driving, and for the audio text is next. So we growed for the 2019 to 2020 is a 600% growth, and then we now achieved at 160% growth on the revenue. So we are focusing on the 3 different parts. SaaS we launching in the like 6 months ago. We working with the Microsoft Azure deeply, because they use the cloud and to upload their data on that. So it's a very challenging, but we actually think that is a very successful in the go-to-market strategy for the different overseas market. Number 2 is we have around 10 people for only just developing for a model and based on the deep learning model. So this is for the automation technology that we actually support for the clients. This is like a medical, 3D mesh, robotics. This is the next future. So we are developing on the roadmap of the development. The last and the least in the smart city that we already talking with some of the data market in Germany and UK. Also, we do have a Pangyo Zero City, which is already developed a smart city. So one of the team members is joined from the chief of the smart city, that he is a CSO, and right now he's doing all of including the labeling technology put on the pipeline of the smart city. So that's it. Are you AI ready? Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome, nicely done. Well, judges, what questions do you have?
More of a technical question. Where do you think unsupervised learning goes for autonomous vehicles?
Because we only care about something. I think if you can mention about the unsupervising, like if you think the computer vision related, I think it's a lot of data has to be calibrated and aggregated. For example, there's like multi-sensor data, like a GPS, HD map, and LiDAR and radar, all different kind of the sensor data and information has to be combined with the one tagging. Because one of the clients that we're talking to, it's unsupervised learning is a lot of failure because of the edge cases. So I think that a lot of the winning of the AI system and ADAS system in the autonomous driving, they need to tackle of the edge cases and for the with a different multi-sensor data that they acquire and they need to tag.
Other questions?
Can you talk a little bit more about your pricing and business model? You said $2 to $3 to $5 for an image, but what does that look like on a larger scale for a kind of robust company that you would be serving?
Yeah, good question. I think some of the big corporations like Hyundai Motors and Ford and GM, I think that's we include this inspection because it's on-premise version. It's just really like too expensive to install them. So we actually getting all the data from the private network line, and then we receive all the massive data, and then we label it. But $2 to $5 means that a lot of workflow designing, also the consultancy, and because it's not just a simple labeling, is not the whole job. And inspection is also included. I mean, a lot of competitors, and they outsource the inspection because they try to reduce the cost down. But the thing is we do have an in-house inspection team. That's what we actually accumulate lots of the trust with the client, because we to have like A to Z for the all different kind of labeling and inspections and the deliver back to clients.
Other questions from the judges? We got time for one or two more. Let's see, question in the chat. What is the big differentiation with other AI data labeling solutions?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think because for other labeling data, and they are really focused on the workforce. So because there's like they hire like thousands of people that they do, and each person's in really hard to keep in track of the very consistency and also the accuracy. So if we lean on the human labelers, it's like 1,000 people in India and China, and that's what in the kind of in a previous stage. But we actually upgraded with we call the human in the loop, and human labelers and AIs work together. So when we receive like millions of the data, and we need to filter, okay, this has to be done by AI or done by humans, and that's kind of the big differences of when we compare with our competitors.
Awesome. If a judge has a quick question, we might be able to fit it in. But so any quick questions from the judges?
What are your profit margins looking like for this?
It depends on the project, but normally when we're dealing with like a very high-end data, like a LiDAR and radar and camera data, and it's around the 20 and 30%. But when we're dealing with like a very low-end, like image and just a text, and it's around like a 10 to 15%. But I think as time goes by, we do have our own modeling. So as long as we just keep the data is coming to our servers and the cloud, I think that the margin is going up and up.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, nicely done, Doyle. We're at time, so we'll move on to the next one. But good presentation, and thanks, judges, for the questions.
Thank you so much.
We will have Dev Unlimited. So Emily, if you want to, I don't know where you are. Oh, there you are. So yeah, if you want to share your screen, and whenever you're ready, you can get started. And your screen is up, so we can see it. You're good.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily from Dev Unlimited, and today I'm going to tell you how our Sparky platform is going to transform the home training experience. So during the pandemic, influencers saw their retention rate increase and decrease pretty fast due to the increase of the number of influencers during that period. But for influencers, retention rate and engagement rate are actually one of the data are the most important, as well as how to stand out. Also, when we talk about home training, most of the people use video content that we can find online. But as you can see here, with this kind of videos, the retention rate is only 40%. But once you add interaction and social facilitation, the retention rate goes to 94%. So the problem are, how can we keep motivating people to keep exercising at an affordable price, and how to propose to creators new kind of contents and new ways to interact with their community. So Sparky is a fitness and dance platform that is that transforms simple contents into a game, simple to use and is and free of access. People just have to use a camera, play any videos on the platform, and enjoy a new way of exercising. This is also a new kind of content that could make any fitness and dance creator stand out. So how do we do that? Our platform is proposing AI-based immersive content that will analyze the movement of the users, compare it to the creators on the video, and will make the exercising even more funnier. Users will feel like they have a personal trainer that is giving them real-time feedback and that is encouraging them while exercising. So at this time, we can find online interactive content, for example, with Peloton's website, but it's not really affordable because of the price and the equipment, and the content is quite limited. On the other end, you can see YouTube that is proposing a lot of different kind of content and is free of access, but without any interaction. So we can see here that even if there is no interaction on YouTube, the monthly active users is actually 1,000 times more elevated than Peloton. So our long-term goal will be to reach the same number than for the YouTube platform. Here is a small competition analysis of our competitor in the US and Korea. Our main differentiation is the gamification features such as 3D characters, multiplayers, and point or badge rewards that is still in development and testing. Thanks to our gamification features, we want to motivate our users in a new way, and while also proposing high quality contents. So we intend to grow our Sparky platform by starting with collaborating with creators that will propose and upload high quality content on Sparky. And thanks to different way to play the video, the motivation of the users will increase, and as well as our monthly active users. So which will also attract new creators that will start using our platform to grow their community. So we are then combining the diversification of contents and the free of access of YouTube to the interaction factor of Peloton to increase the retention rate and keep motivating people to exercise. So our revenue model is ads during break time, but the specificity that the ads will be shown alongside the video without pausing to give the users a more fluid experience. Thanks to the advertisement, we also intend long-term to share the revenue with all creators. Here you can see our net income as well as the creators' revenue sharing. To grow our Sparky in the global market and the US, we have those marketing strategies. The first one being the influencer marketing to propose high quality contents and attract users. Then we will also at the same time promote Sparky through advertisements such as Google Ads, targeting creators and users to show them why they should use Sparky. And finally, we also intend to develop Sparky platform by putting the creators' needs at the center of and proposing new kind of contents. To achieve all of our plans, here is a team of Dev Unlimited. Each team members bring special insight from technology development to marketing and user experience design. In order to develop Sparky, we set some milestones based on KPIs. The first one being the numbers of creators on our platform. The second one being the monthly active users. To increase those numbers, we will of course use the marketing strategy that I exposed before, but also we intend to develop Sparky to give our users and creators new experiences and motivate them in a new way. Here is approximately our timeline for the future. Thank you for your attention.
All right, nicely done. So judges, what questions do y'all have?
Could you talk about customer?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, Kathleen, you're in.
Customer acquisition cost. It seems like these are going to be small buyers coming in on social media and that kind of thing, which can get really expensive. So what testing have you done?
Well, we tried, as I say, with influencer marketing to do some influencer campaigns and also ambassador study, but also advertisement. Basically, at this point, the cost acquisition was pretty high with influencer marketing since there was not so much conversion. So we are actually still trying to find the right influencers, kind of influencer that will actually have the community that will be interested in Sparky. But advertisement, I have only the numbers in Korean won. So in dollars, it's a little complicated to convert, but like for influencers, I think the most expensive was a little over $2 for conversion. And for Google Ads was actually around $0.5, if I remember right. So it was more effective actually doing Google Ads than influencer marketing at this point. But I think it's also because of the, we need to find the right influencer with the right community that will be actually interested in Sparky to convert, which is a little difficult to determine at this point.
Yeah, you're definitely still early. So, I mean, ultimately you're a marketplace, right? So you're gonna have content providers and content buyers. And then the big question is how much burn will it take to get to 1 million unique users a month? Because if you're gonna use advertising as your model, the first year you're gonna get to 120,000 or whatever it is. But yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of money to get to 1 million uniques. So you need to have an answer to that question. And if it takes you 3 years to get to 1 million uniques, you either need to raise that money or come up with a way to make money in the meantime. So give that one some thought.
Yeah, actually, we developed a new business model, but that will be available only in Korea because it's not a concept that actually works in America, I'm pretty sure. So actually, right now we are thinking on a new business model, but that will be alongside only in Korea, and while we are trying to develop the more global audience for us in America.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can you clarify? So I thought you were going to go the direction that Dave just pitched, which was like a better content marketplace. Can you just clarify? It sounds like you're actually like selling this to the creator, and then the creator is using it wherever they produce content.
We are trying actually to develop the platform to give like more like main features that will actually attract influencers and add value proposition to them, which we don't have at this point. We don't sell to the influencer creators. We just like for now collaborating, and after development, we are going to try to promote it to them to show them that like it is kind of unavoidable for them to grow their community and like to get bigger and also stand out.
Okay, so they will actually upload content specifically to Sparky.
Yeah, actually, the long-term plan will be them uploading on Sparky without us actually paying them to do it, just like YouTube or Instagram, something like that, like social media platform.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Well, that brings us to time. So Emily, nicely done. And we will move on to the next group, which is Rocket to the Moon.
Hello.
How's it going? So yeah, feel free to
share
your screen. I'll let you know.
Slide. Okay.
So we can see it, so you can get started whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Jinwook Park from RTM. RTM makes your factory hyper intelligent through AI. This is the third year for RTM. Last 2 years, we developed our technologies and solutions, improved the performance of our solutions. So now we are preparing things to go to global market. According to Forbes and research studies, 82% of manufacturers experienced unplanned downtime over the past 3 years. Annual downtime costs for manufacturing industry are about $50 billion. As manufacturing process has become more complex, it's hard to recover from even a small abnormality. On the other hand, global market of smart factory is growing rapidly. High-tech manufacturers worldwide continue to invest in AI tech and have already installed IoT sensors and gathered tons of data. Only 1% improvement in productivity across the manufacturing industry can result in $500 million in annual saving. Despite many AI pilot projects, there's no success story yet. Most of AI projects never make it to production. Common solutions are not working on real complex problems, and tailored solutions need huge manpower and tech resources to develop and maintain it. Because every manufacturer has different shape of data, AI-wise, it's impossible to build one-for-all solution, but we made it possible to generalize the manufacturing process to optimize it. So we provide three-step solutions. First, detect defect very accurately and precisely. Second, analyze the root cause of defect. Third, improve and control the process. Based on the three-step problem definition and solution, we provide bespoke solutions for manufacturing industry. Our machine learning platform enhances the capability to analyze factory high frequency time series data and build AI model from that data. Our RTM AI modules are put together to build a customized solution. We have built a modularized architecture with reusable modules and versions that enables us quickly tune and develop a customized solution and algorithm. We have developed diagnostic and anomaly detection techniques for high-tech manufacturing process such as semiconductor. As of now, we hold 4 IPs and 3 more know-hows are under review. Yeah, this is one of our solutions. Our root cause analysis solution, Apollo 1.0, has been applied to research fab of global semiconductor equipment company. And this is second one. Defect detection solution Hubble 1.0 turned out to save more than 90% of defect loss in LED production line, and it's still working on the line, and it saves defect loss entirely 11%. Our annual revenue from AI solution license has more than doubled in this year. And we have gathered more than 16 terabytes of manufacturing data, and it's growing every day. So far, every client speaks highly of our solution and service, so they are making a plan to extend AI solution across the entire manufacturing process as next project. Go-to-market strategy is targeting high-tech manufacturers such as Samsung, TSMC, and Intel, so that we can develop and secure the latest technologies applicable across different domains. With this strategy, we can expand our business to other sectors with pre-built solution. Target industry-wise, global leading company C3 AI deals with all-around enterprise problems, but our team is focusing on high-tech manufacturing such as semiconductor, second battery, and LED. To solve the problems of high-tech manufacturing process, the combination of latest AI tech and domain knowledge is essential due to the high uncertainty and complexity. We have 25 members of Team RTM. Process experts define a problem and design a solution, and top-notch data scientists build AI models, and software developers and data engineers breathe life into the model. Thank you for taking your time.
Nicely done. Judges, what questions do y'all have? And I can start us off while y'all think of some. So could you talk a little bit about your strategy for US expansion and sort of how you're approaching that? And are there focus industries, or just tell us a little bit more about your US go-to-market?
Yeah. As I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, actually now we are working on that. Now we are trying to hire the business developer for global market and looking for the potential clients. So yeah, now we are preparing things.
What other questions would you just have?
Can you talk a little bit more about your unique ability to provide this? I know it's fairly niche, but you know, what's the need to have that's going to get people to switch over to you?
I think the differentiation and strength of our solution and technology is, I can explain it in two ways. The first is the performance of our models. We have our unique technology to dealing with the multivariate high frequency time series data. It's very picky ones for many data scientists to dealing with the high frequency time series data. So we've developed the technology, and it turned out our technology is much more better than the previous existing solution and technologies, as you can see this slide. And the second is explainability of the technology. The manufacturer's final goal is not to detect the defect precisely. They need to reduce the defect loss and defect rate. So they need to find out the root cause of the defect. But existing solutions cannot cover the problem. So we can provide it as another service and a value. I think it's a value.
I've got time for probably one more question.
It seems like you have a lot of information around the benefit to the customer, but how do you get in front of the customer at scale?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and that's our big and huge problem to expand our business to scale large. So the way we are going on is, it's like C3.ai has come. The point is modularize our technology and solution functions. So as I told you before, the common solutions are not working on the complex problems. So the solution should be tailored. So to scale the tailored solution, we need to modularize every technology and every solution function. So we are, as I told you, we are working on it, and many things are prepared now. So we can develop our solution 2 times faster than before or existing other process.
Great. Well, we're at time, so nice. And thanks for the presentation. So let's see. Our next presenter will be Cleon. So yeah, Jinwoo, you can stop sharing your screen, and then Jiho, I don't know where you are on my screen, but oh, there you are. So yeah, feel free to share your screen, and whenever you're ready, we can get going. So we can see your screen. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Hello. Okay. Hello, I'm Jiho, product director of Clown. a deep learning-based culture and contents AI startup. So virtual reality used to be the stuff of science fiction, but not anymore. Today, virtual reality is deployed across many industries, from gaming and social media to entire virtual workplaces. And deep learning technology is also shifting from recognition to content generation. But it takes over 40 hours to process the thousands of images required and requires new learning model. So we made it easy for anyone to create video and virtual content. With Clown, anyone can create their own video with just 30 seconds of audio data and a single face picture. We can produce videos with little data and high processing speed, which solves difficulties of conventional video production and innovates to create video with just one click. So existing one-to-one generation models process thousands of photos for one person. This takes over 30 hours and requires relearning after every data input. But Clown's model needs only one photo and 1 minute's voice, and it also takes in real time. We just completed 7 units of technologies that can make creative video without filming related to the face and voice technology. Based on these technologies, we are delivering 3 products named Camelo, Clown, and Clean. So the first product is Camelo, a video creation and sharing platform where you can experience our cutting-edge technologies. And the second product is Clone, a B2B digital human chatbot solution, which that company can make their own character easily and use it in various ways. And the last product is Clean, an auto dubbing service. With Clean, you can easily translate and dub video contents from one into another language with main character's voice. We are thinking that this Clean product fits best for the US market and other products, so our focus is explaining on this Clean product. It'll be easier for you to understand with this short demo video. So this is the original video of Squid Game.
지금 나한테 야바이 치는 거면 오늘 내 손에 진짜 죽어.
Hey, look, I had a bad day today. If this is some kind of scam, I'm really going to kill you. 僕、協調子がすごく良くない。今私にペンをかけるなら今日私の手で本当に死。我今天心情不好啊。如果你现在欺骗我，今天你就死在我手里了。
Yeah, some kind of this. So as COVID-19 affects to rapid increase of OTT and the film industry globally, the needs to watch overseas videos have grown, and the companies had to secure the contents fast. So using our solution, companies can easily make the videos in several languages, and the audience can watch films with less distraction and more identities of actors. So we are planning to expand our business area by country and by industry. So these companies are the potential clients we are thinking, and because they have enough money to invest in new technologies for earning more money utilizing their IPs, and also they operate their business internationally, of course. That the first step of our company's Korean entertainment market, we plan TEDx of having an exclusive partnership with CJ ENM, which is the #1 entertainment IP company, including films. So they make almost 1.5 million minutes of video content annually. And by the interview of employee of CJ ENM, 5% of total videos can be exported. So if we dub them in 4 languages with $10 per minute fee, we can expect almost $3.1 million for annual earning in Korea. And we can go to the foreign market after. So for our business model in Clean, we make initial system integration cost and annual license fee to our clients. And so we already earned $1.5 million in just 4 months by Clean and Clone. So Cleon was founded in 2019, and we've since partnered with a range of large corporations. Also, we had won 2 CES Innovation Awards in software and mobile app field in upcoming 2022 CES. And we are the only one in the world to receive 2 awards in software and mobile app fields. So we have 40 great people, including these guys, and about 13 people have master and PhD about generative technologies. And the other members have experienced highly advanced business and technologies like TikTok or top-tier university in Korea. So we just finished pre-A funding, about $4.13 million by Kakao Investment, which is the largest VC in Korea. And next year, we're planning to reach $3 million revenue, and we also plan to begin Series A fundraising in the US next year. So in the meantime, we'd like to network and have partnership in our business. So thank you for listening, and we're finding new business opportunities in US market if you can introduce someone in the DM industry or related program. So please let me know. Thank you.
Awesome, nicely done. So yeah, judges, what questions do y'all have? And I can start us off. So I know for the dubbing service, you're focused on entertainment industry, but are you looking at other applications like in education or other areas where translation services would be helpful?
Yeah. So was the question like, am I looking for other like industry, like education or something?
Yeah, I know that coding is the one you're focused on for the US. So wondering if you're looking at applications outside of just the entertainment industry, or if you're really.
Oh, yeah, actually, we are looking for as the strategic map. We are trying to like expand our industry more after we have US market entertainment industry, after we are going to like put it on ad tech or like all kinds of industry that needs media contents. I think we can be, yeah, any other industries, if they need to use media contents, we can go anywhere.
What other questions do the judges have?
I'm curious, are all 3 products sold together every time, or are they sold individually?
They're sold individually. I was just introducing our other products because this is our company. And just to say that the clean products is what we focus on the US market for now first. So I've just introduced our technologies and what we have and the product clean to focus on the US market.
Okay.
They're working individually. They're like individual products.
Question from the chat: how long does it take to convert an hour of content into a different language?
For now, we are like expecting that, like we found that if we use voice actors in dubbing program, like about 2 hours drama takes about more than 30 days, but we take only 3 days for like 2 hours drama. So it decreases about 90% of time reductions. So yeah, now it takes time. You can like reduce the time for about 90%.
Magali, so your hands up.
Yeah, I was curious, how much research have you done, or have you done research at this point around kind of the cultural intricacies of the US or some of the other countries where you want to expand in terms of that? Because I know some countries dub a lot and some countries don't, and people will have different cultural approaches to how this happens. So I was just kind of curious as to how much work you've done on that front as you think of expanding.
Is it a question about the like culture, like which culture like prefer the dub or subtitles? You mean like that?
Yeah, I'm getting at that kind of thing. Yeah, how customers, how users that like view a movie will react to your technology, and whether you've done a bunch of research on that.
Yeah, surely we're now like targeting the US market for the first global market for us. So we focused on the US, but yeah, for US, we found that like we had to research about like 80%, 88, maybe it was 88% of people have like difficulties on understanding or like understanding dub or other like overseas videos. So they have difficulties and they want some kind of needs to watch like dub movie better or like more comfortable feeling. So yeah, I think we have researched a lot for other countries too, but we end up now focused on US, and we think that there's a need for our products.
Well, well done. We're at time. So yeah, good job, Jiho. And we'll move on to our last presentation of the day. We'll bring up Future Main. Andrew, you got my screen. There you are. So yeah, Andrew, feel free to share your screen, and whenever you're ready, you can get going.
Okay, I'll share my screen right now. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, you're good. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, as the last company, thank you for listening to all the other presentations, and thank you for listening to ours. Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'll be introducing Future Main and our predictive maintenance software for smart factories, the EXRBM. Our mission at Future Main is safer and more efficient maintenance for smart factories. We have over 36 years of experience in diagnosing and collecting industrial machine diagnostic data. We have completed attracting Series A funding and have seen fantastic revenue growth. We also have multiple patents for our machine fault prediction technology. The founder of our company, Mr. Lee, has worked in the field of machine fault diagnosis for over 36 years. And being a company specializing in engineering and IT, our workforce consists of mostly mechanical engineers and software developers.
Pros. Andrew, can you still hear us? Seems like we might have had a freeze here. We can, easy to start over though. We were just getting started. Like Andrew's probably signing back in, so I'll give it another moment or two. The joys of Zoom.
Not really a Zoom event unless you have one of these, right?
Exactly. Well, Kathleen, it might be time to hear the second of the three jokes that you said that you have. So.
I never said three. Okay, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Don't cry, it's only me.
These are classics that you have for sure.
Yeah, I hang around with the 3-year-olds.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, yeah, so hello, I'm Andrew, and I'll be introducing Future Main and our predictive maintenance software for smart factories, the EXRBM. Our mission at Future Main is safer and more efficient maintenance for smart factories. We have over 36 years of experience in diagnosing and collecting industrial machine diagnostic data. We have completed attracting Series A funding and have seen fantastic revenue growth. We also have multiple patents for our machine fault prediction technology. The founder of our company, Mr. Lee, has worked in the field of machine fault diagnosis for over 36 years. And being a company specializing in engineering and IT, our workforce consists of mostly mechanical engineers and software developers. Right now in the USA, around 50% of machine downtime at factories are due to the age of the machine. The USA ranks 4th in the number of industrial accidents among OECD countries. Unplanned downtime costs the manufacturing industry around $50 billion in losses every year. That is why we created a predictive maintenance solution in order to predict machine faults before they happen. Our solution is big data and AI collected over the course of 36 years, combined to create a solution that can perform real-time analysis and, in particular, automatic fault diagnosis. This is an example of machine monitoring software that one of our clients were using before they purchased our solution. It is essentially impossible for the untrained eye to discern what is happening on the screen. The EXRBM provides a helpful and intuitive user interface for the user. Clicking on a red alarm dot will show the type of fault, as well as the cause and recommendation. Out of all the other smart factory solutions, only the EXRBM is able to provide maintenance recommendations. The picture above is the example of a bearing that our solution detected a fault in and resulted in the bearing being taken out thanks to the accuracy of EXRBM's diagnosis. Our solution is the only predictive maintenance solution that has been tested by the Korea Certification Research Institute. During the testing, we achieved a 98% accuracy in diagnosis and were subsequently awarded the K-Mark certification. Our company's current business model is based on providing hardware, software, and consultation service to our clients. I will now introduce our other EXRBM integrated services that we possess, which consist of a cloud service, AR platform, and portable analyzer device. So as I said, we also offer cloud service to our clients for their requests through Naver or Amazon. Another product line of ours is our augmented reality software, which is used in conjunction with the EXRBM to help workers navigate the factory floor. With AR imaging, you can find your way around a complicated factory. And with document storage backup, you can view machine specs and blueprints while moving around. The EXRBM Portable is our portable machine data analyzer for data analysis and diagnosis on the go. Our solution is far superior to our competitors since the EXRBM can detect 85 major faults and provide early fault alarms. According to a recent study, the global predictive maintenance market size was valued at $4.45 billion in 2020 and is projected to reach $64.25 billion in 2030, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 31% from 2021 to 2030. This should lead to a bigger increase in demand for predictive maintenance solutions. In 2019, we did around $700,000 in sales. In 2020, we did over $2 million in sales, resulting in a 300% increase in revenue. We intend to begin our US market entry by targeting the wind power and chemical industries. This is some of FutureMain's traction. We've done projects with mostly large Korean corporations like LG and have recently started our global expansion by working with Saudi Aramco. And we are currently in the process of talking with Bosch and Siemens in order to integrate the EXRBM with their respective IoT platforms. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Nicely done. Exactly 5 minutes. Well done. Judges, what questions do y'all have?
So what's your US go-to-market strategy and what do you need?
So right now, we are currently looking to set up our own office in the US, and we are currently looking for partners to help us connect with other US manufacturing companies. So for example, EPCs, which we are aware in the US are is responsible for operating power plants and other sorts of oil refineries. We would like to preferably partner with some of them and able to gain a foothold in the US market.
Can you describe how much of this is customized for every customer and how much of it is productizing to a SaaS platform?
So because every facility and all the machines and the facilities are different, it is quite customized. The normal process when we set up our solution is our engineers will go to the factory, do a survey. They will do a survey of where the factories are. They'll get the specs for all the different machines. They will then make a report. And then typically, because the Korean corporations typically require us to do a proof of concept, we then do a proof of concept test to show them that it does work, where then another report is written that they can submit. And then after that, once we get the go-ahead to implement our solution full 100%, we then customize the parameter settings to program the fault pattern parameters into the software, so that when we install our solution will be able to automatically detect all the faults for all the machines, even before the faults actually occur.
Other questions? I guess quick question for me. So for competition, is this a relatively new technology or new space, or is there other big players in it, or what's the competition landscape, and how do you really differentiate?
So there are quite a few competitors from small companies and also from very large corporations like SKF or GE. Typically, the solutions offered by the larger corporations have much less customization. It's more of the solution can just be installed as it is, and then it's up to the customers to basically tweak it or change whatever they want. However, for our solution, we customize everything for the customer, and it's not just software customization, but it's also engineering customization, where we give them a detailed report of the status of their machines and where they should fit the sensors for the machines and how the vibration data should be collected. Since that is all done in detail by us, even though we could view our solution and the other solutions offered by larger corporations as similar smart factory solutions, the level of customization that we do for our solution, I would consider definitely new to the field, since originally they do not do this amount of customization for the customers. So, which is why our accuracy is much higher than our competitors.
So we got time for one more question. Who wants the last question of the evening? It's a great honor, as we all know.
I'll take it. It sounds like you have a variety of applications for your company and product. When you're entering the US market, are you going to have a specific area that you're focusing on? Do you have kind of a beachhead approach, or what does that look like?
To be more focused on around Texas, where there's a lot of oil, and also around the Midwest. Basically, there's a lot of energy plants and wind power over there, as well as solar power. So we are looking for basically, as I said earlier, wind power, chemical factories, and then also oil as well. So since oil and power plants are kind of our specialty, we've had a lot of experience in that sector. We are looking at Texas and kind of like the southern area of the United States to expand. Just add one more thing. We are also doing a project right now with a Korean corporation to create a wind turbine bearing fault diagnosis solution. So because the bearings in the wind turbines, there's a pivot bearing and a yaw bearing. we are trying to make a separate solution to be able to diagnose those with another pre-incorporation.
Awesome. Well done. And yeah, that is I think that's the last of our pitches. Indeed it was. So yeah, if you want to stop sharing your screen at this point, I can do a little bit of a wrap up, but nice job to everyone. You'll probably agree, these pitches get a little bit better every year. And I think this was, top to bottom, some of the best pitches we've had in this program. So well done, everyone. Couple just last thank you. So thank you to our judges for hanging out here tonight and helping out with this and for the feedback. Just submit the form once you're done filling it out, and Koki and I will collect all that stuff and send it out to the companies tomorrow. Big thank you again to all of the mentors on the program who joined in tonight. And hope you had fun throughout the process as well. And then to everyone else, thanks for joining as well, and hope you had fun tonight, and obviously got to see some cool companies. So Yumi, anything you want to add before we sign off here?
Well, thank you for joining, and thank you for sharing your ideas and pitch. Yeah, I will contact you in person. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, have a good rest of your evening, everyone in Seattle. Have a good rest of your day, everyone in Korea. Dave, you've earned your sleep for sure. Safe travels, and yeah, have a good rest of the day, everyone. And for all the participants tonight, again, very well done. And we'll get you feedback at some point tomorrow. And then we'll see you again next week for the final wrap up. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and good rest of your week, and we'll talk soon.